This episode is sponsored by Shutterstock.com. With over 20 million high-quality stock photos, illustrations, vectors, and video clips, Shutterstock helps you take your creative projects to the next level. For 30% off, head on over to Shutterstock.com and use offer code GAMEBREAKER7. This episode is also brought to you by Audible. For a free 30-day trial and to receive a free audiobook, just head on over to audible.com/gamebreaker.
Hello, Internet Magic Man here from FreetoPlay TV, bringing you another episode of Dat Game, the show where we give you our first look at different games. Now, a few weeks ago, we did World of Warplanes. We made some comparisons to War Thunder then, so I figured it only fair to revisit War Thunder, still technically an open beta. When you first start, you pick one of 5 countries and how you'd like to control the game: mouse and keyboard, gamepad, or of course flight stick. Now, flight stick is obviously probably going to be the best for you sim guys, but I'm going to go ahead and play with an Xbox controller. Now, when you first start the game, you're going to have a tutorial mission, and you do get quite a few of these actually throughout the game at random experience intervals as you go. Definitely take them. They're, even if you know the controls inside and out, which, as you can see right there, I didn't, a little bit all over the board. If you know the controls already, you'll zip through them pretty quickly, and it's a cheap way to get some real fast points that you can end up spending on pieces of gear, upgrades to your planes, upgrades to your crew, things like that. So, easy experience to farm. Now, we're just going to skip through a little bit here. I don't want to show you the whole tutorial, just kind of giving you the idea of what you're going to do. You're going to read the directions or have the voiceover give you the directions and go ahead through. Now, you will notice one thing right off the bat when you compare this to the World of Warplanes view that we gave you a few weeks ago. In here, in War Thunder, you only have the target in the middle. That's it. There is no 2 targets, one showing the front of your plane, one actually showing where you're aiming. None of that. This is a little bit easier to understand. There isn't more of an arcade feel to it. That doesn't mean that it sacrifices the realistic dogfight type stuff. As you can see here, our next objective is to actually get into some dogfighting. I'm going to shoot down a balloon, and then we'll take a few shots at some targets, and then we'll jump into a real match. But it is a little more intuitive, I guess I would say, where I felt in World of Warplanes that I was playing more of a point-and-click airplane combat simulator. Here I actually feel like I'm the pilot. Not a very good one, mind you. At least in the tutorial, but I will say that I did catch on to War Thunder quite a bit more than I did World of Warplanes, and actually did quite well in my first few matches, taking the top of the leaderboard. We lost because it was well, you'll see, it's like a resource thing. We'll get to that. But I did take tops of the leaderboard, so not too bad. You've got your little trailing and leading marks that you can see, similar to other combat flight simulators. Obviously, you want to lead your opponent into the fire. Now, I did have a bit of a hard time controlling this particular plane. It was very sensitive going left and right. Luckily, this is not the type of plane you start out with. It's just what they give you for the training missions. The ones you get starting out aren't quite as agile. So let's close in on these guys. Try and shoot them down without having a seizure or getting airsick the way I'm flying. So your left analog stick controls your motion up and down, your pitch, and your left and right turning. So you can descend and ascend, pushing forward and back. Your right analog stick will give you a little bit of a tweaking on the aiming. And then you can also zoom in useful for ground targets, things like that. So you can get a close-up view of the actual ground targets you're trying to take away. But it does sacrifice a bit on the controls, obviously, because now you can't really see your plane, and things are closer than they appear in the mirrors there. Now, pushing up on the right analog stick will increase your throttle. Pulling back will slow it down. So think of it as if you're using the controller like I was, your left analog stick is full motion, up, down, left, right, and then your right analog or your right stick is going to be push forward for speed, pull back for slow down. You can see the throttle. I have it open to max in the upper left-hand corner there. I do like that the UI is really streamlined. I've got my speed and altitude and my throttle in the upper left. I've got my chat stuff, my kills and things like that in the lower right, and I've got a basic compass mini-map in the upper right. So pretty streamlined, nice, clear user interface. Not too much going on. Now, this tutorial actually took me a few tries to get the hang of it, and it might try you too, because it might take that long for you too, because it is a bit touch to get used to. Once you do, though, you really get it locked in pretty quickly. And for some reason, I just had a really hard time catching these guys before they were pulling away. So I won't bore you with the tutorial anymore. Let's jump in and check out our hangar. Alright, now, so, yeah, I did end up completing it, so give me some crew and some reward points. You've got two different currencies. You can see them in the upper right next to the shop. And you can see at the bottom, I've picked the United States to start out with. I can switch to other countries' Air Force, so it doesn't matter. I just happened to start with the United States, really just clicked. Wasn't too keen on really picking one, didn't matter to me. I start with 3 planes, the 26A P shooter, and yeah, that's it. And the 26B P shooter, 34s and 35s. So pretty basic. Now here's my Air Force for the United States. I really can't do much right now. I've got my P-26s, but you see everything else is either red out or grayed out or it's shadowed. I can't do it. There's multiple different restrictions on some of these things. Now, this is a plane that I could do some things with. Not the Kingfisher, this one here, the OS2U. Now, I could level up, buy planes in this, and gear in this window, but I'm either not high enough with this particular nation's forces, I'm not high enough in the experience charts, I'm not experienced enough with the specific plane. There's quite a few different things going on. Now, in the shop, I can buy additional campaigns. They do come with bonuses, starter kits. Again, the game's technically an open beta, so you know my feeling on those types of things where you can buy packs of things and do this while the game's still in beta. Now, to be fair, this one's been in beta for a while, so you're probably pretty safe to be spending money in it, but me personally, I like to wait until the game's fully launched before I start shelling out any money. Now, we will touch on the cash shop in a little bit again when we talk about crew. I wouldn't call it pay to win, but there is definitely a huge advantage to shelling out some money to begin with. It will greatly accelerate things, but you can do this either way, so it's not technically pay to win. Alright, so now I can't really do anything as far, I don't want to spend the money on recruiting crew, so we're going to get right to battles, of which there's 3 types in War Thunder, not just one. You've got your arcade battles, which is the battle you're going to see me doing here in this first look. The reason being, it's usually the fastest to get into, and it's usually the fastest battle to get out of. Now, I'm just going to go in with base modifications. I'm not going to change anything to start, because I want you to see, when we compare this to something like the World of Warplanes first look, you're going to see that I'm a lot better off with my starting gear and my starting planes in War Thunder than I was in Warplanes. Now, we're going to play the arcade battle. This is a little more forgiving on the aim. It gives you the targeting circles that you're going to need. It's a little more forgiving on things like G-forces and things like that. It's all about the fun combat. Get in the dogfights, shoot the ground targets, things like that. The other 2 options are historical battles. An arcade battle really doesn't care what country is going up against each other, and it doesn't care where the hell the match takes place. You could have Germany and the United States flying over Antarctica. I mean, there's no maps that do that, but an arcade battle would allow you to if there were. Historical battles are going to be more specific to actual battles that happened in not only World War II, but there are some battles that are just generally 20th century wars. So they're going to force you to join into battles where the country that you're choosing is actually a participant in that country, or in that conflict, and in that battle frame, that area. The last battle is take the historical battles and make them even harder. Longer battles, all of your targeting stuff is gone. You've got to do it right. Your crew stats are going to play into it big time. G-forces are going to rock you. Just think a little bit harder and more on the simulation side than just a regular historical battle. And then, obviously, you have the arcade battle being the, let's get in there, shoot some planes down for a few minutes, come back, tweak the planes, and do it all over again. That's what we're going to stick to in this first look most times. Now, I left the loading screen on here because I wanted you to see that it does show you the mission objectives before you go into the battle. Nice touch, which usually some other games kind of miss for some unknown reason. I get to see where everybody spawns, whether they're a fighter plane, whether they're a bomber plane. And this particular battle, I've jumped ahead for you. This particular battle is to take out ground targets of your opponent. And you can see the meter at the top, where as it gets closer and closer to the center, more and more of that color's ground targets have been destroyed by the opposing team. So yes, you do focus here on dogfighting, but that's not the only aspect of this particular match. You need to take out the ground artillery and the transport units. That's the PvP match. That's how you win. So, I'm going to scale back here, try and stay low, take out as many as I can. I'm using my zoom feature to get close. Now, these guys are kind of close to me, so I need to take them out. Let's get in here, take him down. See, Magic Man not doing too bad in some PvP. Next live stream, Troy, you're all mine. If you're not watching the live stream over at FreetoPlay.tv, you probably missed that we live streamed this a couple of times, and next time I think I'm going to have to show Troy what's up here. So I'm using evasive maneuvers here, trying to get this guy off of my tail here. You can see that I'm not doing terribly good, but I haven't been shot down yet. One really cool aspect of this game, the War Thunder, that I did like, was when you're shot, you don't just blow up. If you were shot in the gas tank, fine, boom, plane gone. But you can actually cripple a plane to the point where it just has no controls and will slowly drift into the ground and slide and come to a stop. You'll slam into the ground and explode. There was a lot more than just, boom, you got shot, you're done. Now, right now, I can't control, and so I'm unconscious. The G-forces can knock your pilots out, and also, of course, they can be knocked unconscious by shrapnel or bullets as well. So I just thought it was really creative, man. It's not just shooting the plane down. There are other ways to get that plane on the ground as well. Red team's beating us, closing in on being defeated here. Our blue meter, not so hot. We're getting ready. The dude, so I'm going to just kind of go after the dude and see if I can't get some points here for just taking some opponents out. It's unlikely that we're going to catch up. Now, one drawback here, for me at least, is I'm using the starting plane with no modifications, so I can't bomb yet. I haven't upgraded or changed the weapons. So the ground targets I've got to take out with my machine guns, which is a little more challenging. So that's I'm going to stick to the airplanes for now. Take down the dude here. Get shooting the lead out in front of him. Yeah, I know the lead marker. Thanks, game. Now the dude is on to me. He knows I'm here. That's all right. Circle back to the left. Get him. Oh, somebody firing at me now. That could be anti-aircraft or plane. Who knows? I'm too focused on the dude. The dude abides. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Oh, nice shot. Nice way to be out ahead. And that'll do it. Get him. Oh, come on. I thought we had him. Dude's got a lot of hit points here, for crying out loud. Almost there, though. Almost. And, oh, critical, but still not down. There. No, nope. Critically damaged. There. No, he did crash. It was somebody else. Oh, I'm running out of time here. We're about to lose this battle. I gotta take the dude down before we're done. We've only got a few targets left on the ground. Zoom in and see if I can't take one out before we've lost. Oh, we lost. So kind of a unique take on things. The dogfighting element is, of course, there, but that's not the only element that you're worried about. It's not just take out your opponent. When you die or get shot down or whatever, it doesn't kick you back to the hangar and then lock that plane out. You can rejoin the same battle like you saw me do, provided you have another plane waiting in your loadout there. Now, I only have 3, so that means if I die 3 times there, then I can't participate in the rest of the battle. So that's your incentive to purchase more crew, train more crew, and purchase more planes. So this was the end of my first match, a bunch of achievements, ranking to level 1, getting a new plane, the F2A1 Buffalo. Nice. We'll take that. A bunch of achievements here. Again, you see I'm getting experience on the right, not only for my own level, but also for the USA Air Force rank. You rank with each country's Air Force. And to make it even more experience, you gain experience with each plane, and you have to have certain levels of experience with each of those planes to modify them in certain ways or do the research. So Magic Man, top of the charts there. Only got 1 ground crew. I was kind of keeping the skies safe for my team. But not too bad, not too shabby for somebody that's not terribly good at PvP. I do enjoy some War Thunder. Now, there are links at the bottom. You've probably seen them for Army and Fleet. They're not ready yet. It's just the aviation stuff. But look for War Thunder to integrate aviation, Army, and Fleet into one big, massive combat. Some of the tooltips will already show you, for certain air battles, how to drop torpedoes, where you should drop them. So you do already have some elements of that type of combat, but it's not one big war yet. So we're going to open up, use some of these credits to open up another slot so that we can get another crew active. Now, I can actually do some research since I did rank up. You see that my requirements on a lot of things have changed. Some of them aren't grayed out or red or blocked anymore. I am actually able to do some things. Not with the Buffalo. So what can we do here? You know what? Let's take the Buffalo into battle, actually. Get some experience with the Buffalo. Then we'll come back. Can I do anything with the... Nope, just the machine guns. And I can't do anything with the shell racks or anything because I just don't have experience with the plane. You can see that in the bar at the top where it says the F2A1 Buffalo. I've got 0 out of 170,000 experience with this plane. So I can't really do much as far as upgrading it. That means I've got to take it out in the field and use it a couple of times, get some experience. Again, this one, it's just the regular Buffalo. I've got 0. Now let's take a look here at the 26A. Since I have used this one before, you'll see, let me open up. You'll see now I have 987 experience. So I do have the ability to purchase, well, I had the ability to purchase weapons, but I just didn't do it because I wanted you to see the base plane in combat first. I can get a couple of bombs here, so we're going to buy that. I did forget to equip it before we jumped into this battle, though, so you'll see we're going to take out, we're going to play air support again. Get him, get him. You cannot have the name Magic anything. There, Magic Man. Takes him down. We were getting pummeled in this match, and that's one thing that does hurt. In War Thunder, people are able to leave the match, just like you see there. And when they do, things can get lopsided real quick, like this battle turned out to be. Pull up, pull up, pull up! Damn it. Boss hog. Huh. Funny. So things can get lopsided really quickly when people leave a match, just kind of like this one did. This one turned into just start flying around and shooting planes down because we really didn't have a prayer.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy.
Do we? Imagine that. We need to put more pressure on them. I don't even think I'm going to make it back into battle on this one. Go full throttle and try and make it there. Now, you do have a little bit of an afterburn that you can do on some planes. Nice way to damage things really fast, though, if you use it too much. Machine gun's rough. Oh, just end it. Kill the last vehicle. G-forces. See, now my pilot started to black out there. The G-forces were too much. Nice little touch. And your pilot will black out and your plane will go slamming into the ground. All in all, if I had to pick one, you said, Magic Man, you're going to play one. World of Warplanes or War Thunder. What would you play? Right now, it would be War Thunder. Now, granted, you saw me lose both matches on here, but I had a lot more fun. There was a lot more going on. That's not to say World of Warplanes is a bad game. I like what it does, and I'm interested to see where wargaming takes that in the future. But Gaijin Games just has a nice little title here with War Thunder. I do want to hit on one thing. Since this is the game that I would play the most out of the two, if given the choice, that means it's probably the game that I'm more likely to spend some money in. Now, I'm not one that's going to really buy the packs and the campaigns and things like that. The game will give you little missions as you go. So you can see I was top of the charts here too, but it was an abysmal match. It was just a terrible match. Too many people left, and we got raffle stomped. Take a look here. I do, so it's the one I'm most likely to spend money on. What would I spend it on? Well, with a premium account, I would have gotten experience boosts there. So you were able to see that. That's a kind of an incentive. I'm going to level things faster. All things, my character, my Air Force, and my experience with planes. Now, the other important factor here with the cash shop is that you can use the cash shop to enhance your crew very quickly as well. You see the two types of currency, the eagles and the silver and the gold. And the silver you generally accrue pretty quickly just from playing the game, but the gold currency is your cash shop currency. So you can buy some bombs and we'll equip those. And yeah, this is just machine guns. And let's pull up. Let's show you the crew. Here we go. So now each of my crew for these planes have vision, visibility, G-force tolerance, stamina, vitality, all kinds of stats on their own that you can train. And it does give you the option to buy your way through higher levels, just like this. You can accelerate your training. Again, you can earn all of this in-game, no big deal. You can slowly earn this stuff over time through playing the game, but you could also buy some crew XP if you really want to fast-track things. Not necessarily pay to win in my book, but you can definitely speed things up if you're willing to shell out the dollar. And all in all, I'm kind of digging War Thunder, so it's probably the one I'd be more likely to spend money in anyway. Well, that's the first look for War Thunder, gang. If you want to check it out, come on over to FreetoPlay TV. Click the button right below the video. We make it nice and easy for you to play. Click like, subscribe, head on over to the site, and this is Magic Man saying stay safe, and we'll see you on the servers.